It's your boy Playa Tony, man, and you tune in to the ThePrezEx TV.
Welcome y'all to another episode of the Presidential Executive. This your homie, the exec right here, JB. This is my homie brethren over here, El Presidente Rag. And
y'all know what we do.
You know what we do, man. You good?
Oh man, I'm good now.
You good?
I ain't touching boxes and being chased by dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm great.
Like I said before, like I'm smelling like the off spray with the insects. I just finished EJ being out there at the baseball field having his practice and stuff. So
I'd be glad when they find one thing, because you be going from baseball to basketball to football.
They gotta
to
find
T-ball,
the niche. They gotta find the niche.
Bowling, tennis.
They gotta find the niche, man.
Man, if they start curling, I'm gonna know something.
Hey y'all, before we even get started, man, go ahead and like this video right now, y'all. We're on all podcast platforms, y'all. So wherever you stream it, check out the ThePrezEx TV, or you can look up Presidential Executive, and we'll be right there.
And what site? So the people know, because you're world famous for going through the list.
Going through the list.
You know what I'm saying? Where can they find us at?
Okay. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Stitcher. And we have a special guest in the house. I'm intrigued to get into it because you know what I'm saying. I told him off camera I didn't want to talk or say nothing because I want to get all on camera. Just be like, what's going on? What's up? And since you are the aficionado of the intros and just do it so
I
presidential.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you
made my day.
You go ahead and do the honors, my guy.
So I met this guy, man, in the actually in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Recording. But he is a Memphis, South Memphis legend. You know what I'm saying? Veteran.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Man, real live. Actually, believe it or not, at one point was a real live pimp. Current MC. Memphis's own. Playa Tony in the building.
Playa Tony.
Hey, I appreciate y'all to have me.
Hey,
you see my boy he got the pimp cup.
He got the cup.
I got the
hold it up right there so the camera see right there. You got the player cup.
Yeah,
man.
Blessed by the church.
Look,
he let me hold, like I was holding it yesterday. That joint got some weight to it too.
It's heavy too.
It's not like like my glass be, they light. Like that joint got some weight to it.
Many is called, but few is chosen.
Yep. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So, Playa Tony, man. How we like to do here, man. This is just like on camera too, and also just for the people that consume our content. Like, tell me more about Playa Tony, but start from the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? He told you a little bit like you're from, like, give us, kind of from the beginning where you're from, 2-parent household, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I came from a 2-parent household, God-fearing.
Okay.
My dad, he's a realtor. My mom works in a bank. So I came from a structured home. Graduated from Russ College. I'm an alumni there.
Dig that, Russ. Yeah, I dig that.
HBCU.
Yeah.
Won
a couple of tennis tournaments out there.
Yeah.
Russ College out there.
My dad transferred to Memphis. He played for Russ. He hooped for Russ.
Oh, really?
He played college ball.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with Russ, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Stayed with my grandma right there in Pennsylvania. I graduated from Carver High School.
Okay.
So, South Memphis native. So.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
You 30? Oh, so okay, you okay? Yeah. I'm thinking you may be like in the 35-ish range or something. Okay.
No, man, wise beyond his years.
Okay.
30.
Yeah.
30. Okay. All right. So from South Memphis, went to Carver. Did you hoop any? Did you do?
Yeah. I hooped at Carver.
Okay.
I hooped at Carver, man. I played baseball for Russ though.
Baseball. See, that was
baseball for Russ.
Yeah, I got my kids into it now because I never played growing up, so I'm not really familiar with the sport. I watch it on TV like playoff time, but I don't. Yeah, I'd rather go to a game than actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Consume it on TV.
What position did you play in baseball?
I didn't play a lot. I played in the outfield, but I didn't play a lot. I mean, I was not the best baseball player.
Yeah,
But I mean,
you played though.
I played. It was cool. I learned a lot. It was different, and I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I got hurt, but I actually enjoyed it though.
Okay.
That was another reason I didn't play basketball because I got hurt. I did have a lot of injuries, but I still laced it up though.
How'd you get into baseball? Like that's like it's kind of like kind of the same vein as tennis to a degree. Like
Yeah.
you don't see a lot of us in that sport. So
Yeah, nah, especially not no more. You don't see a lot of brothers playing.
So
yeah,
while I was playing basketball, I played in Carver. I actually played tennis.
word.
Yes, actually, me and my teammate, I want to say Bobby, we played tennis. And
Were you slow?
I was slow as hell in
Okay.
tennis. I was terrible.
My man, because I was too.
I was terrible in tennis.
But you tried. That's all that counts.
But Bobby was pretty good though. Bobby was pretty good at tennis, but I didn't have the coordination right.
Yeah.
But the heart was there.
Yeah.
But coordination was terrible. So I got the baseball. For me, it was pretty easy hitting the ball and run the base. I mean, which is crazy because the ball is a lot faster than that tennis ball. But it was pretty cool. It's good to do things different because you learn a lot. I mean, you educate yourself, and you have to. And even in baseball, you got to have your body right. You know what I'm saying? To even do certain things and certain movements.
Right.
You got to. You know what I'm saying? What may appear and look on TV is not what's actually happening on the field. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I tell people with tennis all the time. People be going out there doing these little sissy whack. Oh, I can play this. I can do whack. Like, dog, it ain't it ain't nothing like that.
There's a lot more muscle memory and discipline involved into
A lot more.
lot
Yes.
more.
You say keep the word discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing. Like, people think they could just jump in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Because you watch the battles on. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And again, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the battle rappers are amazing. But for me, like I said, we talked about this when we had DJ Black on. Like, you come from an era where, like, you start beating on the table and go. Ain't no go home and prepare. Like, you got to go right then. Right there. So, like, how he was talking about, how y'all was talking about, it's a lot of muscle memory that people don't know. Because I got out there and did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm an athlete. Right. But it's stuff.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
It's real technical.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to sports like tennis and even baseball. And shoot, really golf, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because golf, you think you just go out there and put. You know what I mean?
Now.
But it's like your torso, you're using a lot of your back and
your knees and legs and stuff.
Yeah.
Did either one of y'all play golf?
No, I was very interested in playing, but I never.
We got to get out there again.
Yeah.
I got a full set of clubs. I'm ready.
No,
I just need to. I mean, I got to get off work, but like, I'm ready.
That's what McDade does. You know what I'm saying? That's his full-time gig.
Yeah.
He worked with the golf thing. But, I've been out there maybe once with him out there. But, yeah, that's something I need to get into because it's, you can get a lot of business out there with golf and talk to those that are up in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They play golf and do whatnot within that. So, yeah, man. I mean, we got that. You had a 2-parent household, right?
Yeah.
2-parent household. Okay. South Memphis. Went to Carver. Any college, anything past high school did you go into or got into? Or like school or higher education or?
Oh, yeah, I got my degree in biology and I was in the science club in college.
Okay.
So I was in the science club. I liked it. I actually went to the NASA program out there in Huntsville, Alabama.
So would you consider yourself like a nerd or?
I like
nerds are
science.
Cool. Yeah.
It's not. I'm not just big on knowledge. I like wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I just like to take in heed and instruction from other people, past experience, or why does this work or how this work. Like I learned a lot when I went to that program in Vanderbilt and we learned about different lab instruments and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like stuff like that. I guess you can say I was a geek nerd. Yeah.
It's a good thing. I think he was the same way. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah, no, that's the thing with me. That people be like, man, why is he always in trouble? He is so smart. Yeah. But it was just like, my thing was, I'm always looking 5, you know what I'm saying, 10 moves ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on some stuff like, how does this benefit me in the long run? Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, growing up, having a family full of educators and stuff like that, of course, you can't help but, and my punishment was always, oh, you got to read. I like reading anyway. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going through the stuff, but then it's like I'm in class, and when you're in class, it's not like everybody's on the same level. So it's like I'm sitting up here waiting. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you probably see it with EJ, like if he got to wait on, you know, Toby and Aiden, he, like, come on, y'all, like, because he's ahead of them. And so it's like my parents had me ahead, but it's like I got to wait on the rest of these folks. And so, like, okay, fine, you know what? I'm bored. Let me have fun. And unfortunately, you know, my fun got me in trouble. And speaking of that, so, like, growing up in a 2-parent household, like, 2 things. Number 1, was it like a lot of discipline, like old school discipline, because you know what stuff is now. And then number 2, like, was y'all in, and I said this before, we have a lot of deep conversations, like, was y'all in the church and stuff a lot like that?
Yeah. Shit, man. Church was like going to fucking work.
Yeah. So you like Baptist, like 3 or 4 services?
It was fucking, it felt like 5.
Wow.
God damn it. I mean, we was at that motherfucker at 7, and no bullshit, we didn't leave at 3:30, and you had to be back at 6.
Yeah.
It was one of them churches. So I went to Sunday school. It seemed like the choir had a service because they sang so goddamn long.
Right. Ushers meeting, deacon meeting.
Man, deacon boys, so many offering calls. Hell, I done lost count. When we call offering call about 6 times, it ain't even 12 o'clock.
Right.
And don't let it be no evangelist or no other deacon there, goddamn it.
Right. You sound like you went to, you know, before we went to Breath of Life, I was went to Oak Grove with the Baptist church back in the day. So it was pretty much on the same time. That's pretty much why, you know, Pops let us go back up, you know, the breath and deal with that. So
what about the discipline part? Like, when you got in trouble, like, was it?
I got my ass beat.
Okay, all right.
It's simple.
I say so. We was all a part of the same gang then.
Yeah, it's simple.
Gang.
So Pops did most of the discipline and doing both of them.
Yeah, both got on my ass too.
Okay.
Grandma got on my ass.
Okay.
Yeah, sound about right.
Equal opportunity. Okay.
Yeah. It was EO for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It was EO for sure. Yeah, all the way.
So from those experiences, do you see how that helped you in certain aspects of your life now, as far as being held accountable or having a consequence for, you know what I'm saying, doing certain things, or was just like?
Oh yeah, you goddamn right. As a man, you gotta be held accountable, and you gotta take responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you can be a leader. You gotta do those 2 things. Mm-hmm. Even as yourself, as a man of the household. Mm-hmm. You gotta have accountability, and you gotta take responsibility. I mean, it's simple.
And how many times have we said that on this podcast?
A lot.
Accountability and responsibility. And that's what people get mad at us, because we call stuff out, and it's just like, we just want people to be accountable and responsible. That's it. Like, that's always. I preach that a lot. So it's a trip that you said that, because we ain't got no script. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy he said that.
But the reason why people get mad, and the reason why people be so timid or they lash out, is because they believe in the smoke and mirrors. And what I believe is that what I'm saying is they believe in the lie so much, they don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take responsibility. You know, they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. They don't want to take ownership of their own actions. So that's why you'll get that backlash, because I got to have an excuse to do that. You know, I got to blame somebody else. It's their fault. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? instead of owning up to your shit. You gotta own up to your shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I think that's why Judah killed himself. Goddamn.
Who that?
Judah.
Judas.
Yeah.
Judas. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's why he killed himself, because he ain't repent.
Yeah.
When he sold Jesus, he ain't repent. That's why I think he killed himself, man. Pride.
Yeah.
You know, pride come before the fall, goddamn.
Yeah. I think that was some of it,
That's
too.
facts.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was some of it, too.
not that. I mean, but then some of that, too, and I think we've talked about this before, and that's been a couple of months ago, but like that self-righteousness of, because he said repent mean I have to humble myself. That word humble is like means the same as humiliate. I have to lower myself to receive forgiveness. But that self-righteousness is like, oh, I'll fix it. I ain't got to go back and humiliate myself. I'm going to make it right. Because he tried to get the money back, right?
Yeah.
He went back and like, oh, I made a mistake. And they was like, oh, no, we can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? They even when he left the money, because they took the money and they bought a field with it in his name. You know what I'm saying? But like, so he didn't spend any of the money. But instead of him going back or waiting for, okay, he said he going to return. When he returned, because think about it, Jesus came back to everybody. He came back to Peter, who denied him and ran away. You know what I'm saying? He came back to Thomas, who was doubting who he was. You know what I'm saying? The other two that went to the grave, because the women were saying he was out, they went to see if he really like, hey, what y'all looking for? I'm here. I guarantee you he would have came back to Judas, and he probably would have had the greatest testimony, because it was like, I was the one who sold him out, and he came back to me and redeemed me. But that self-righteousness, I got to make it right. I'm going to kill myself.
This is actually what I believe, since we kind of on that subject with that, Tony. Like, when you come to Judas, I mean, I think what you said was some of it, but also I think him killing himself was him taking accountability, because he was like, dang, I killed who I killed. Like, I can't go on. Like, it's, it's nothing else for me to do. So I agree with you. Like, I think he was, didn't want to take accountability, but also I think he was like, this is, what I'm saying? It's like certain people like to do like the school shooting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to die till, they're going to die afterwards. It's like they taking the accountability. Like,
well, I think too, though,
shoot or kill myself.
Maybe, but, and I think this is the point he was making, is like, if I do that, and yeah, that is like penalty, but if I do that, I don't have to face you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to face the other 11 who gonna be looking upside my head like, you was the one that came up and kissed him in the cheek and the gut. Like, I don't have to face them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to deal with them being mad at me or being on my head. Or so to some degree, to your point, it is like I feel guilty. But to the other side of it, it's like, I don't want to see JB and Tony, so I'm gonna go on and, cause if I don't, I gotta look at y'all. I gotta walk in the room and look at y'all in the eyeball and explain myself. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So so like I said, I get what you're saying, because to some degree you can feel so much guilt and shame that you do that. But like I said, to another degree, it's like, if I do this, because he was around the other 11, right? You know what I'm saying? Jesus told all of them he was coming back. So if he felt that way, and like you said, he saw who he was, he could have waited 3 days to see, is he really coming back? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was like, and then this the crazy thing, we don't really have a timetable of when it happened. They don't say exactly when he did that. So we don't know if he actually did that before he came back or after he came back. You know what I'm saying? If he was just so ashamed, you know what I'm saying, that he did that. You know what I'm saying? So, but going back to his point, like, a lot of people, we live in a world now that everybody wants to be a victim. It's not my own fault why my life is fucked up. It's nothing that I did. Stuff happened to everybody. Like, it was storming the other day, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people's power went out. That's life. That happens. That ain't God turning his back on you. You know, that ain't even the devil. That's just life. You know, it's like, we got these microphones. I guarantee you in 10 years, they may not work. That's not the devil. That's not a plot by the man. That's just life. But people don't want to look at it like that. I'm always a victim. It's never my fault. It's never me. It's never I got to do better. It's never I got to have thicker skin or be tougher. Well, if JB would have did that, then I wouldn't have. Or if Tony would have said this, then and that's the world we live in.
Now, who do you think mostly does that? Is that mostly us men, or is it women? To take in with the responsibility for this.
It is.
I mean, clearly it's both. Like, I don't want to get it twisted. It ain't like, oh, men don't do this, women do this. But I'm saying, yeah. But to y'all's view or perspective, Playa Tony, you can go first. Like, do you think, from what we're talking about, taking accountability, not playing the victim role, is that, to your experience, is that mostly you see men? Having that, or is it women?
It's a heads and tails thing.
Okay.
It's both. And the reason being, now it might not be equal, but from what I've seen, even when it comes to marriage, job, when it comes to life in itself or inequality, or why we don't have this reparation and shit like that. Why we got so much black on black violence. And people want to tip the scale when it comes to justice system. I think it's both. But it's more so on the men because you was blessed to lead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You was made first. So it's your fault because you was first. God talked to you first. Right. He ain't talked to no woman. He talked to you first. So it's more so on the man than the woman. Because the woman is more emotional. It's a natural state to complain, to bitch moan or whatever. I mean, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but I mean, she has a right to feel like that or to be like that. That's why the serpent came to her first.
So you saying she has a right to feel that way?
It's not right, but I mean, I'm not going to tell nobody they don't have a right to feel what they feel or
I get what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? But
he's saying like it's your right to feel however you want to feel.
Yeah. To go back to that first question, what you said, I feel like it's more on the man because we have vision and we can control certain things. If we pay attention, we can control a lot of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we choose not to because we
sound like you talking like in a relationship dynamic. You talking about relationship dynamic, right?
Even in hell, you can go to the justice system, or you can go when it comes to just making changes. I mean, we have the ability. You know how many black billionaires we got?
Yeah,
we have the ability to do that. Why we don't do that? That's a question for them. It's not a question for Playa Tony. I can only give so much,
Right.
I can only abstract what
you tell them?
Hey, it's better to give than to receive.
That is true. That's real. That's real.
But
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's just me, man. I can't because I don't know what's in that person's head, so I can't just say, oh, this goes for everybody. No, I speak from just my standpoint, and I feel like shit, it's more on the man than the woman, because once again we was held with more responsibility, and we had to take accountability. If you go back, Adam blamed the woman.
He did.
He didn't take accountability, so it's our fault.
He was wrong. He was wrong. Like, and I think on my preacher man, John, I actually put a question out there. This was maybe a week or two ago now. I was like, what if Adam never ate with Eve? Because if you look at scripture, he was there with her. Right. It wasn't like he was around the corner.
Because it said she turned.
Right.
And if you turn,
right,
you're right there.
So what if he was like, nah, I ain't eating it, or
I said this before. They didn't realize they was naked till he ate it.
Yep.
To his point, because he knew better.
Yep.
He was the one who had the one-on-one conversation.
He the one had the word.
Correct.
He the one had the vision.
And I think, me personally, it might be out of whack. I think that's where Pimpin started. Right there.
Oh, we come.
Hey, I think me personally.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't go straight to Adam.
Okay.
He went straight to that woman, to the weak link. Hey, let me use her.
Okay, you talking about the serpent? You talking about the devil? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the snake got pimped out.
Right.
He cursed the snake.
Yeah.
So obviously, the snake means wisdom. That's what the doctor used. The symbols.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what the
So hey.
No, well, even the Bible tell you be as gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent.
Yeah.
And it said, like, it starts out by saying the serpent was more subtle. That word subtle means smarter, wiser, cunning.
Yeah.
You know, he had more up here than everybody. And then, but even if you look at the nature of snakes now in the wild, they always attack the second person. Mm-hmm. So, like, if we were walking in the wood, they're going to get the second person, not the person in the lead. They're going to get the second person. Yeah. So, like, it's just in their nature because it's like, you see me coming, I'm going to get the person behind you.
Yeah.
To your question, and I don't disagree with what he said. I'm not going to say necessarily who do it more, but I'm going to say why they do it. So, men, when we do it, we don't have the luxury to do it.
You mean playing the victim or not?
Yeah. Because think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a kid. You know, I got kids. You got kids. If you was by yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you like, oh, I got to get my kid. What they going to tell you to deal with it? You ain't going to get no food stamps. You ain't going to get no. We do not get the luxury. Now, we can make excuses. And I'm not throwing shade or throwing up nobody under the bus because this would actually be another good rundown topic. But some people look at people who grew up in single parent households and they like, oh, well, you in a single parent household, so you make excuses. No, because we know some people who grew up with just their mama or just their daddy, and they don't give no excuses.
Right.
But I will say, if you're a woman, and a lot of our sisters, unfortunately, handicap our brothers because they treat their sons like their boyfriends instead of like their son. And they don't allow that coach or their brother or their daddy or whoever that teacher to speak into their son's life because he is a man trying to find his way. And so if you're treating him like your dude, you're not allowing him to be accountable and respond. If you're always running up to his defense, you're going to have a weak ass man. You're going to have a weak ass son who's going to always be a victim, who's going to always blame everybody. But guess what? The world isn't just like God didn't give Adam no break. The world is not going to give you no break. They're going to say, nigga, deal with it. And we see that with the criminal justice system because we get up in front of them judges, whining, crying. Guess what? Go to jail, nigga. You be at a job, whining, crying. Guess what? You fired, nigga. You be at school, whining, crying. Guess what? Your scholarship revoked. You on a team, you kicked off the you see what I'm saying? We don't get that.
Yeah.
Women do it, but they are not held accountable from childhood. Cause you got a baby girl, I got a girl, like
it's different.
You got a girl, like
it's different.
When you see baby girl, we don't make them be accountable because that's daddy's baby.
Right.
And I saw somebody who put this on Instagram. They made it real. It's like, when I had my son, he was like, man, you know what? I'll die for you. And he's like, man, but when I had my daughter, it's like, oh, I'll kill for you.
Right.
Like you said, it's different. And unfortunately, women that we've dealt with, and you talked about the pimping thing, but women that we've dealt with, they're so easy to deal with sometimes, to manipulate, whether intentionally or unintentionally, to take advantage of, whether intentionally or unintentionally, because as fathers, they were failed by their father. We have to be in a position to not fail our daughters. Because if we do, guess what? That's just like you was slick, it's going to be another slick. And I heard Shannon say this on the Pivot podcast. He said he don't want his daughter to date somebody like him.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Because you know
what that
is. But so it's like with me, I'm big on holding my daughter accountable.
Yeah.
Because I know what's coming. And she hates it. But it's like, you can't say you didn't know though. And that's my thing. Yeah, you daddy's baby. And no, it ain't a get on your ass physically type situation. But you're going to hear my mouth. Because I don't want you to be naive, like that. And so the dichotomy between men and women is, men do it, but generally that's because you had somebody who was handicapping you. But the world does not allow us to do it. Black, white, whatever. Women are never held accountable. They can always be the victim, especially now.
Right.
Especially in this day and age in 2023. I guarantee you, if you're at work and a woman accuses you of something, automatically you're going to be looked at as guilty. And they could pull up her file, and she could have a history of lying or doing wicked, like, oh, this woman is always accusing somebody. Doesn't matter.
And that actually happened on my line of work. I don't want to get into the details, but
right.
But to your point, Playa Tony, with that, like, I mean, when you look at it, yeah, it all is gonna come back to us, because even if, just obviously, I think the relationship perspective of it is clear, because then you got a man and a woman relational. You got to be the head of your household or whatever that is. But just for a single woman,
thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying? For whatever perspective that she may have, it may be, from, like he said, maybe from a lack of a father or brother, big brother, whatever. So, in the big scheme of things, it will come back to us, because, because I was following what you were saying, because clearly in a relationship, whether you're in a relationship, he in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Clearly, and I don't want to use the word control, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about a relationship, but there is a hierarchy.
You got dominion.
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly said it in the Bible.
There is a hierarchy.
You got dominion over this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got dominance over this. You got to think. When he made this world, the devil was here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus even said, "You the prince of this world." He even told the devil that. He said, "You the prince of this yours. You the prince."
Yeah.
He ain't called him king. Right. He ain't called him king.
Yeah.
And then he created man. He said, I'm gonna have man rule over this. You know what I'm saying? So it's go fall back on us, because we got dominance to rule over this. We don't know our power. We don't understand if we let God use us, the vessel we are. And people don't understand that. A lot of men don't understand that. So that's why it'll fall back on you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever the excuse is, it's going to fall back on you.
And that's
that's how the cookie crumbles.
And just to be frank, I mean, that's the frustrating part. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And I agree with you.
For a man that's been, married for 10, going on 10 years, that's any, marriage counselor I've been to, or, we getting, that's a refreshment or whatever like that. You know who we talk to, Pastor Moss, sometimes. It's always back to...
Yeah, back on us.
It's back on here. But you like, but bruh, like...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. Hey, you don't get, like, she did it,
All I know is whenever he get to church, I just want to pray at the end of the service. That's all.
And then you want to get the...
No, I done told him this before, though. Yeah. I done told him this before, though. I just want to
pick up a collection plate.
We'll get a benediction.
I don't, the benediction.
Yeah, because that part, I think we've all probably experienced it. You 30, but I'm sure you've still experienced the frustration it can be to have, you know what I'm saying, of being a leader, of being a quote unquote boss, because, too much is given, much is required, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So even in that, like, given I set the temperature of my household. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to set the temperature of my household. So, like, even with my wife, like, I can give, you know what I'm saying, some instructions or something like that, but I need her to help me, you know what I'm saying, guide those instructions out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it's like, but then the frustration could come in, because it's like, as we've probably heard in this society today, like, I can't control my wife. She can't control me as an individual. You know what I'm saying? She has her thoughts and stuff like that. So as a man or as a leader, just like, I like basketball analogies, Kobe and Shaq. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shaq was like, I had to be this way with Kobe, because I knew if I got him mad, he was going to play this certain way, and then Rick Fox was going to get, you know what I'm saying? So it was a domino effect, but it just didn't look good, you know what I'm saying, to the public. It looked like a whole bunch of chaos. You know what I mean? So that's the frustration part, because it's like, it ain't going to look pretty. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and how you have to do certain things to lead, or you may look like a sissy, a punk, or look like you know what I'm saying, something to the outside. But as long as you know how to right your own ship, or you know what I'm saying, create the temperature in your household, you know, to each his own. Though.
I mean, but you know, with that analogy you gave, I think that's why communication is key. Because I think the thing that failed with the Lakers in that capacity when they had Kobe and Shaq was both of them wanted to win, and Shaq mentality was I'm gonna, you know, kind of poke the bear to get him to play a certain way. But Kobe looked at Shaq like, oh, you lazy, but they're not talking. So Kobe is got a beef with Shaq. Shaq thinking I'm pushing him to make him better. But if they was on the same page and Kobe was like, dude, you could be the greatest center ever if you work like I work. And Shaq is like, hey, I'm trying to get you to be the next Jordan or beyond Jordan. Who knows? They may have won 5, 6, 7 championships
6 or 7.
and not broken up. But they were, Shaq was leading and Kobe was trying to lead, but they weren't communicating.
That's the communication.
And that's communication is key because sometimes in a relationship even, you could be setting the temperature, but if she's not on board, she don't know what you're doing. She's looking at, oh, you doing too much. Why we going here? Why is this going on? Why the kids got to go to bed at this time? Why they doing? So if you're not keeping her in the loop, it don't necessarily mean she got to agree with everything. But if she don't even know, that's going to create resentment and bitterness. And I think, and I heard Dr. Holloway say this years ago, but he said every relationship fails because of communication. And people's like, oh, cheating, no money. He's like, no, he said communication. Because if people clearly talked about likes, dislikes, wants, hopes, fears, dreams, triggers, stuff like that, if you know I don't have no ambition, I'm good with just being a manager, I'm good with making $80,000, I don't never want to make no more than that.
Yeah.
If you know that, you may not marry me. But if I don't never tell you that, you're like, oh, he got a good job. If he keep going, we gonna be good. And then after 10, 15 years, you see I'm still making, I done only got a raise like maybe $1,000 over 10 years. You feeling some type of way, but I never communicated that I'm content with that. And so, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But every relationship is gonna fail, right? Would y'all agree with that? And well, let me give some context of what I'm saying. Fail as in, if me and my wife have an argument or disagreement, whatever with the kids, it's a failure in communication in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, in the moment.
Yeah.
In moments, like
failure as in just
right.
You know what I'm saying? Period. But
yeah, in moments, yeah, no.
Every
you
relationship
experience failures in every relationship
because it's not a matter of if, it's when. When is that communication going to disconnect? When are you going to have you know what I'm saying? This argument, or when, to what you were saying, Tony, like when is she gonna get emotional about certain things, and you gonna be like, I just ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's about how you right the ship. You know what I mean? How you kind of come up and come back with that. But I want to dive into what you kind of said with this Playa Tony, with that, as far as when pimping.
Because we want to know. So we know 2-parent household, college basketball. I mean, not college. I mean, high school basketball, high school tennis, college baseball. So after that, because between then and now, you had an experience where Playa Tony, you know, came. So how did you get into that life? How did you get into pimping? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does one get into that? Because everybody who watches doesn't know that. So how did you get into that?
Well, I want to start by saying this. I don't glorify it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the game I grab so I can maintain. And
Appreciate you saying that, yeah.
And how it happened was I got chose. It actually happened at
that's a player term.
Wow. We can't make this up.
Yeah.
He said, "Look,
I got chose.
How it started? I got chose." You know what I'm saying?
I got chose, man. No bullshit, because I wasn't into that shit.
Okay.
I had I had a girlfriend and shit in college, man. I wasn't no fucking pimp or no shit like that. Like, I mean, I had, you know, I know how to talk to the ladies and stuff, but like, it wasn't just on no shit like that. I'd be fucking lying to you. But that happened, man. I'm not bullshitting. After I graduated from Rush, I went to Alabama A&M for grad school.
Okay.
No bullshit.
I'm when you say Alabama A&M, I'm like, okay, keep going because I see it coming. I see it coming. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to this house party, and it was in these. Alabama got these apartments on campus. I stayed off campus, so I had some apartments like 15 minutes away, and I was at this party, and this young lady, she was I think she was in the grad department. I don't know what grad department in, but I think she was a senior or something. I think she was a senior, but she came on to me with an opportunity. Straight like that. You know, I'm just vibing out with her and stuff like that. And she was saying, you know, how would you like to make some extra money on the weekends? And I'm broke as fuck. I'm a broke ass, like, fucking graduate student.
Yeah.
You know. Actually, my mom helped me to get my apartment because I had a partial scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was a dork. I was a geek, man. I had a partial scholarship. And she was like, how you make some money? You know, like, how much? Like $500 to take me to Atlanta. And I'm like, what? That's how I started. And so, I'm like, man, she bullshit. And she gave me the money right then and there.
Now, was this young lady nice looking? You know,
goddamn.
like,
I mean, she was
like,
she was fucking. I'm talking about she was real petite with a fat ass.
Oh, okay.
And man, you know, I don't get on names because you know.
Right. For sure. No names.
You know, I ain't no goddamn Splinter. You know what I'm saying?
I get
so man, I took her, and I don't know nothing about this lifestyle, so I took her to work, and I pulled up. No bullshit. I pulled up at Magic City. I don't know what this shit is. I honestly don't know what this stuff is.
You know what Magic City was?
I didn't know
at that time. Okay.
I did not know. I didn't know what I didn't know. I'd never been to Magic City.
Right.
So the neat thing about this, what people don't know about Huntsville, it's 3 hours away from Atlanta. It's an hour away from Nashville. It's 3 hours away from Memphis. You get my drift?
Yeah.
So you ain't in class long.
Right.
So, you know, you of age. So she was stripping and shit like that, man. Right. And that's how I started. I looked up, I had like 4 girls. I ain't had no stable or nothing, but I had 4 women that I was maintaining.
I mean, what constitutes a stable? How many women do you have to have?
You gotta have about
Or I mean,
7,
I guess if you're a madam, how many men would you have to have a stable?
About 7. You gotta have about 7 and above. But I didn't.
But that's pimp lingo. If I say stable, I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know.
That's a little lingo. It's just a little lingo, man. It's like, man, you running shit.
Okay.
You have to take them to the clinic, shit like. And other people don't understand. You know, you still taking responsibility. You got to make sure. You know what I'm saying. You date everything. You know what I'm saying. Whatever was agreed upon between those 2 mutual parties. And really damn near, I really was just really security if you look at it. I mean, I was just making sure y'all was straight, y'all had your money, and, you know, only got 40%. You know, people think they was a little high, but shit, I don't give a fuck. That was my terms.
Right.
Hey, that was my terms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of shit came behind it, you know what I'm saying? I ran into a dope boy, you know, one of the chicks was messing with a dope boy, shit like that, typical shit. You know what I'm saying? He got in his feelings. He didn't know who the fuck I was. You know what I'm saying? And got into it. You know, I got a sword cane right now. You know? Yeah.
He does in real life. He does in real life. He got a cane. That's a sword.
Like the jump.
Man. Hey, he's not making this up.
Wow, you should.
He's not making this up.
Keep going.
Because what's that old saying? It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's why you be tripping. Because, like, I know interesting people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, hey, he got a sword cane for real.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, that lifestyle, it taught me something. I'm glad I was get a lot of stuff out of it because I know what women I know what type of woman I want, and I know what type of woman I don't want. And I do attract. I attract strippers. I do. And
I'm attracted to strippers. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Depending where you at. You're not talking about ebony and lace strippers, are you?
No. Actually, that's called the jet strip now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Oh, no, it was a time where, like, I had been to every strip club in Memphis. Like, they knew. They was like, oh, Prez in the building. Like, nah. And I wasn't throwing, like, my dumb ass, I wasn't throwing ones. Like, I called myself, oh, I'm throwing fives.
Dog,
yeah, like, I was a fool.
I want you to, continue, but a little detour. Like, I think I told you this before, Rag. I used to hang out with a pimp when I was living in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I mean? And he just took a liking to me. Like, we used to we used to be bartenders and stuff for this catering service, just getting, a lot of money, kind of on the side. And, it was one dude I was just working with, and he had, a little slick hair, the hoop earring and stuff, and just took a liking to him. He told me to come to his crib one day, and, that was my first up-close interaction with a pimp and how he moved and how he talked. First of all, it was like, he was probably the most genuine and honest guy. One of the most genuine, honest guys I ever met. You know what I'm saying? He didn't cut no corners. It was just straight what it was, and that was like, it was different at that point in my life. You know what I'm saying? And so, from what you saying and how you talk and stuff, is matter of fact. And so he was pretty much kind of the same way. Like he had this girl, clipping his nut hairs with some scissors or something. Like he was like on some extreme stuff. You feel me? It was like, I was at the time. It was like, really, and then, they all cool, like 4 or 5 of them, and it was just different. Like
segue on your segue. I'm mad that you was a bartender and you never make drinks for the podcast, but I digress. Keep going.
I can do that one day. I can do that.
I'm just saying. The people want to know, JB.
The
fans want to know.
I owe you that.
You know what I'm saying? We almost at 50K views, and the people, the 50K views we got almost want to know.
Oh yeah, I used to have long iced tea parties back in my career. I used to do it up. So, but yeah, man, like from what you're saying, life lessons that you probably learned being in the game, I can see it because the little time that I spent around Buddy was different. But you know what I'm saying? It was like, I can see, like, you was drenched in it. I can see how you can probably learn other stuff into it. But go ahead. Like,
I mean, I don't want to, like, so, my uncles, my mom's brothers, like, both of them was in that. But I kind of learned what not to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I make the joke about me not wanting to do cocaine, because I got to sit, like, I saw him like, nah, I'm good. But I saw how easy it is using your words and talking to. So to some degree, that helped the wordsmithness, but I didn't use that for like, oh, I'm going to make you. Right. My closest, I would say, to that experience is, I know somebody right now who, if I said, okay, let's do it, was like, hey, me, you, and we can get another woman, and we can live life like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we both got kids. Like, I just don't want to raise my kid like in an environment where it's like me and you, maybe somebody mama and cousin too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm legit walking around like Dr. Umar with 2 wives or with 4 women or something like that. But like right now, like that's the closest thing I would say I've been to that. But like right now, if I said I'm ready, she is still ready. I'm not even gonna show you what she looked like, but I've avoided, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, and I haven't, we don't talk often, but like I said, if I called her right now, and we ain't talked, I know, in at least a year, but if I call her right now, hey.
And that's on, like,
I would feel like Playa Tony.
At that age when you started the store, how old were you at that time when the Alabama A&M was at the party or whatever?
I was 22.
Is it 22? Now, 22. Me in your shoes at 22, I went to TSU, by the way. I went to Tennessee State University in Nashville.
Okay.
So, 22, you know what I'm saying? No money, just kind of broke, trying to find something, and somebody present to me an opportunity at 22 now. This is JB 22. Like, I'm 40 now. This is way different. I can't say I wouldn't have chose the same thing.
You dang near did get presented with an opportunity.
I did.
That man was the plug for a little while.
Yeah, so it's like Yeah, some people, frown upon, stuff like that. Like you said before, you start. You said you don't glorify it, but then you don't look into, the depths of people's situations and what they got going and what they going through. Because at that time, like a lot of dudes I know would have, taken the opportunity, and like especially if the money is coming in and it's as easy as that, you like, shoot, this all I gotta do, or
What people frown upon pimping is, and another reason why I stopped, because in the South, they'll try to hit you with all type of charges. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to hit you, but
now break that down, because you told me this a while ago. You was like, you was dang near gonna be facing RICO charge. Like, break that down for people. Like, what was the stuff they would have hit you with?
Well, I know it was a case in Dallas. Like I said, because it gets serious. I mean, people look down upon pimping because they just think, oh, you out here manipulating women, and you making them sell their pussy, and you doing this and that and the third, and really it's just she chose to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's different forms of pimping, but it's by choice. It ain't nothing by force. You got your own free will.
it ain't gorilla pimping.
Nah, this is non-context, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it depends on your rules and your preference. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might choke a bitch. Maybe you slap them up. Maybe you just talk to them, put fear in them. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's still sin, and it still shouldn't be glorified. But to get back on subject, it's like people like, oh, it's just bad, but you getting pimped every day. You getting pimped when you going to your job.
Message. Don't do them like that, Tony.
I mean, you get like that, Tony. Hey, you get pimped when it comes to this land right here. Innocent blood was spilled on this land. Hey, I mean, Playa Tony didn't make this shit up. For sure. I was only born in '92, man.
Right. You didn't make it up.
But people are so trapped in their minds, they just be like, this shit bad. This they got their own way and preference of it. I can't control this shit, but all I can do is spit my experience. And to go back to your question, I stopped this shit because, like I said, I wanted to get right with God. And when it comes to pimping, they'll put that sex trafficking on you. They'll put the drugs on you. Prostitution, shit, the max, they'll probably get about 3 years, if that. But when you pimping, they gonna put them charges on you. They gonna put everything on you, man. And
so you said like sex trafficking, drug trafficking.
Yeah.
Then you say, I think one time you said like human trafficking too, didn't it?
All this shit, man. They go fucking do it, man. They're not fucking around. Yeah. They ain't fucking around, man. They go try to lock your black ass up, especially if you black.
So you think it's maybe a little different down here, down the South, than pimping somewhere like in Cali or the West Coast? Or
it's legal. Man, it's legal in Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gonna make money in Vegas, but man, you trying to just do this shit down here like legit.
Yeah.
And you think this shit sweet?
Yeah.
Nah, they gonna lock your motherfucking ass
up. No, he said he would do less time for manslaughter.
You down there? You down there? I'm not bullshit. You would down there do less time for That's fucking crazy. Manslaughter. Wait, how this shit going?
Yeah.
But I'm not bullshit, man. They would try to lock you. They would try to send you up the creek.
Cause it almost seems like this pimps would be kind of like low hanging fruit like that. People try to arrest y'all like to like get the quarter or be like I arrested somebody. Not like cause you got criminals and other people that are more dangerous to the community.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's why I try to stay off the justice system side of it, because it's always hypocritical to me. Because if you think about it, we getting shit on camera, right? We getting shit on camera, and police still not held accountable. That's why I said that's another subject within itself. We getting the shit on camera, and basically you saying you still don't give a fuck. Yeah. I had your ass on camera. You can say it. They'll flip around. This shit was rehearsed. This shit was coordinated. You'd be like, God damn, the nigga wrote a statement and everything. He was forced to write a statement. I mean, they would flip that motherfucker all sideways, man.
Yeah.
And you got to think, we had a situation in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is terrible. We go through this shit every fucking year.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And I pray for the family that lost his son, man. And we going through this shit in Memphis. Like, it hit different.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm saying? And it just, it's so many, the system is fucked up. And it's always been fucked up. And always been against us. But that's why I said that's just another topic and situation within itself. So I don't necessarily want to just touch on it, but yeah, that was my experience when it came to pimping and shit like that. Like I said, this shit is way in the beginning of times. Shit's bigger than pussy. You know what I'm saying? Conversation rule the nation. That's how business gets started. Business gets started when I sell you a conversation. I'm not selling you anything else but a conversation. And out of your own free will, it's going to be up to you if you want to conduct that business. It's fair exchange with no robbery.
So when you had, because you said you had four, so not quite as stable. Was everybody the same situation? Was all four of them the same way? Because you said the first one kind of chose you, and it's funny. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, The Other Guys, with Will
I have.
You remember how he was like, my friend came and she said she needed me to do security, and then so the next thing I know, all the other girls, he was like, it sounds like you was a pimp. He's like, no, it was nothing like that. But it was funny when you. That's what I thought about when you said that. I was like, because the first, so I was wanting to know the other three that came. Was it a similar situation, or was it like, how did that?
Well,
the other three happen?
when the second girl came, the second girl was her friend, and then everything followed suit with the other two.
Right. Okay.
It was more of recruitment, but the second one was her friend, and she put her on. It didn't necessarily have to do nothing with me, because like I said, she came up to me and chose me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about shit like that, but I learned, and I learned the lingo. I learned how to move. Hell, I got pulled out of a strip club one day because they thought I was the pimp.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime my friends, and this is no bullshit, anytime my friend, if we go to a strip club, and this actually happened to me when I went to Deja Vu. I was kicking it with my partners and shit like that, and we was just kicking it, man, just bypassing time. And I went to the section, sat down, didn't talk to no women, none of this shit, nothing. I got my crown and I sat the fuck down. I'm not bullshit. Right. And bad motherfucker just came directly to me and sat on my lap, and we had a conversation. And my homeboy, his baby mama was in so belief, cause she was like, Tony, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Real, and that's how she can get started.
Right.
But I told her, like, hey baby girl, I paid for a little time, baby girl. I'm cool.
Right.
I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, so they swarming.
Yeah, that's why I said, go back to what I said earlier. I know what type of woman I do want. I want marriage, you know what I'm saying? And I know what type of woman I don't want. I know what characteristics and qualities I don't want.
So you said like pimping probably helped mold you in that vein as far as knowing what you want in a woman.
Yeah, and seeing the value. As a man, when the Lord said, when He blessed us with a woman, man, and when He said, a man find a woman, you know what I'm saying? If I find a half a coin and silver and a motherfucking sand, I'm gonna dust that motherfucker off. It ain't my job to shape and mold. It's my job to let your light shine, and that's what I want in my woman. I want to. When I find her, I'm just gonna dust her motherfucking ass off. And I'm gonna let you sign, baby.
I mean, I feel like you're making a pitch right now. I feel like that's directed to I don't know who. I'm not trying to be funny, but like it's some women right now like throwing their drawers at the screen as he's saying that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't my job to shape emoji, baby.
They don't want your
I'm mentally taking notes though. Just what you didn't know. What you didn't know. So I'm gonna be sitting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I just want to dust you off, baby. So like, let's get into man. So you get out. So you go from college, you know what I'm saying, to grad school. You know, you think you're gonna do something with the science stuff. You get on to the pimping game, and I'm assuming this lasted for a few years.
Yeah, I had got out. Actually, it lasted about 2 years.
2 years,
and cause I graduated the Army, I went into the Army.
You did say something about the Army, okay?
Right,
in 2016.
Okay,
and that was actually towards the end of 2016. So I got in, and like I said, I just started changing my life, man, and just live right. Cause when you do wrong gonna follow you. Did I make money? Hell yeah. Did I fucking lose money? Did I blow that shit? Goddamn right.
Right.
So I ain't see shit out of it. And that was just my experience. I mean, other pimps are gonna have different shit. They're gonna have different experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like with basketball. Everybody gonna have a different journey. I mean, it's not go. I mean, but I learned a lot, and it was cool for the time being. I think I needed to go through that because I was going through other different financial stuff. Because like I said, I was broke, and then I had dropped out. You know, I didn't finish the program. But yeah, man, and then actually how I fell off into rap because I wasn't even rapping.
Okay.
So hold on, go before you get into. So how did you get into the Army from that? Because I know from the Army, then I went to
the recruiter office down there in Alabama because I actually transferred to Memphis because I actually moved back to Memphis. That was around about 2018, 19, around that time when I moved back to Memphis.
Okay.
It's because I was still in Huntsville, and I was drilling out of Huntsville. So yeah, went to the recruiter office. I always wanted to serve because I actually wanted to serve right after high school. But my parents was in fear. They didn't want me to
get into it.
Get into that. They want me to at least have an education, and that's when I met my best friend. And I met a lot of cool people. And
when you got in the Army?
No, when I went to Rush College.
I
went to Rush College, and that's when I met my best friend, and met a lot of cool people and shit like that, man, and had that experience. So it was, like I said, it was cool. And so I just went on, and because my granddad was in the Air Force, my uncles was in the Air Force and Navies. And my great granddad was in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force. So I come from a lineage of soldiers and men wanted to serve, and it always been in me to do that. My dad tried to do it, but he had asthma, so they kicked him out. So I always wanted to do it, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do it. And I did it, transferred to Memphis, and that was that.
What's your rank?
E4.
Okay.
It's E4.
E4. Well, you know.
Specialist, yeah.
Special, okay.
Well,
I work on the Navy.
He sound like he's been a specialist.
I know, right?
Right.
Yeah, I work on the Navy base, so you know.
Yeah, I used to work on the Navy base.
So that E4 lingo, like I get. I'm not sure how it translates in Navy terms. I'm more abreast to the Navy terms.
Actually, what Paris codes you worked at? What building you worked at?
I was in the Navy recruiting command office.
Okay, I was in Gosh building.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm in the Capodanno.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
Yeah. Capodanno, I worked in Ghost in 750 before, so okay, yeah. So I'm familiar. We because a lot of the Navy and Army.
It's different. The lingo different.
The lingo is
way
different. It is
way different. I actually had to learn it when I was working on the base. I worked in Purge 912 retirement.
Yeah.
So E4, you're a sergeant?
No, I'm just a specialist.
Okay, just specialist. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, but on that base though, if you go to the Navy Federal, my mom worked at the Navy Federal.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Senior loan officer at the Navy Federal.
Okay.
On by the base. Yep.
Yeah.
She's in there. She got her own office, or she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, like the person that was crazy is like Ty.
Yeah.
When he got his car, like he didn't even know my mom was the one who, you know what I'm saying, approved the loan for him to get the whip.
Small world.
Yeah. And so he took me out to my folks' house one time when my whip was down. And so he talking to my dad, and then he telling my dad about getting the loan in the car. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got it by Navy Federal by the base." And he describing the lady who gave him the loan. My dad was like, "I think you talking about your mom." This is like, but it was in fact, you know, my mom who. But yeah. So man, small world. So you were going into, so now you go from, you know, the baseball to, you know, grad school to pimping to the military. So how did that take you into now you're in the music world and rap? Because you got a couple of projects out. You got videos on YouTube and stuff out. You got stuff on Spotify and stuff. So how did you get into the music game?
Happened on accident. I always played around with it, but I never took shit serious. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't education or my military career, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think twice to fucking do it. So, how it happened, we were hearing some bullshit. Me and my partner Justin, I'm not gonna never forget this. I heard some bullshit on the radio. And I was just like, man, what the fuck are we listening to? And I said, man, if they can fucking do this shit, I can fucking do it. No bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, I went into the studio, I think the next day. This was like 2018, I believe. The next day or the day before that, because my partner Justin, he was with me. And my first song I made was Davy Ruff and Pimpin. And I didn't know how to do the bars. I was just writing. You know what I'm saying? I went in, I did my thing, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Like,
It was like,
you
did that, huh?
It was like, really? And I kept going. I kept going. I was doing Davy Ruff Pimpin. I did Down There His Chick. And I had put out my first little tape on SoundCloud. I was so happy. I used the boomerang thing.
Oh, okay. You talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the boomerang thing, man. So, because I wanted to be pimping.
Yeah.
And man, that shit was crazy. And I just took off from then. And how I met Skinny Pimp is I was going to his showcases, and I lost every showcase I've been in, like every one. I think I came third place in one time, but I lost every showcase. No bullshit. And the crazy thing about losing though, they remember me.
That's all you want.
I mean, I had 20 people come to me every showcase. My first showcase I got, my first performance was in a strip club, Purple Diamond. Not Purple Diamond, it was a strip club off Brooks. Oh my God, I forgot the name of it.
Brad, you don't know it?
I forgot the name of it.
It's not the
it's not the Purple Diamond.
Yeah, so no, on Brooks.
On
Brooks. So you got Pure Passion was on.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Okay.
Exactly.
Don't play with your guy.
That's what it was.
I don't play with your guy now.
I knew you probably knew.
Hey,
exactly what it was.
Okay.
My cousin, he gave me that first show. My cousin, DJ Booker. He gave me that first one, and I did Down As Cheap. And man, I'm talking about when I got off stage, I had 20 people come up to me.
They were just asking you a question like, what, you know?
They were just like, what the fuck, bro? You sound like Pat, bro. You sound like Pat. You sound like Skinny. You got that real Memphis sound, bro. Just keep going. A lot of these young cats don't understand what the fuck you doing and shit like that. And to go back to how I met Skinny, I met him at his showcase. Because I was doing that like FNL, Friday Night Live, with these other people, promoters. And he came to one of them, and he told me to go do a show. And met him at every show, man. And like I said, I lost everyone. But he gravitated towards me. And that was the crazy part about it. Like, I just lost the shit out this motherfucker. Like, and he was just like, man, I like your music, I like your sound, I like how you deliver your shit, your flow is raw. And he was like, man, you slick around with me. And at first I thought he was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this Skinny Pimp, man. Like,
But
Skinny.
you 30 though, so how do you know about Skinny? Like when you said Boomerang, like I know we know.
Yeah.
But like Boomerang was like
92,
shoot,
like
92.
you were born,
Yeah, when I was on.
I'm like
I grew up on, even though Yo Gotti and Yo Gotti and
Money Bag.
Kid Shine and all them, even though that's my era, I didn't grow up on that era. I grew up on the time of like 3-6 Mafia, Skinny Pimp, 8-Ball MJG, Al
Playa
Capone,
Gangsta Black.
Al Capone, Player 5, Gangsta Black.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up on all this shit. Spanish Fly. I grew up on all this shit. Like all the old fucking tapes.
That make a difference.
Like,
Yeah.
like legit grew up on all this shit. So Gotti and all them was my area, but I didn't grow up on it. My parents, my uncles, aunties, they listened to that, and I gravitated towards that.
Okay.
And so it was amazing to me to see him in person because I got to meet a lot of other different people even through him. He actually came to my first album release party. He always been to my album release party. He always been supportive. And we actually got a song together. And yeah, man, this been crazy. Yeah, I'm cool with his son too. ATM Rich, baby. I'm cool with him.
Okay.
Real good up and coming artist. Shit, he really up now. He really got shit now. But his son is real good. His daughter is real good too in rap. So yeah, it's a lineage of rappers over there.
Yeah.
Like legit flows. So I ain't got nothing good to say about them. That's how met A$AP Rocky. That's how I met A$AP Rocky.
Through Pimp, through Skinny. Okay.
Met A$AP Rocky.
So how many projects do you have out?
I got a total of 3. I'm finna put out another project called Classic Souls.
Are you on all streaming?
Yes, I'm on all platforms. Oh, sorry about that. I'm on all platforms: Spotify, YouTube. Playa Tony Pimp Nasty is my Instagram name. Facebook is Pretty Tony because women call me pretty.
Pretty Tony.
Yeah, they call me pretty. And
It's a thing of beauty to see him in action too. Like,
Oh, were you talking about?
no, it's just not like just in life.
Like
like I said, because we been at different spots. Like just to see him in action is just like
yeah.
You just marvel at it. You know what I'm saying? Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I'm saying? Like you question yourself. You know what I'm saying? To see like what are you doing wrong in life? You know. So what are the names of your project? Because I know you got the Pimp Fiction series. Like
yeah, I got Pimp Fiction 2. I got Melanated Gold on SoundCloud. I think that's about it. I slowed down due to my military career and stuff like that, and because I was actually supposed to deploy, but I didn't deploy. I got into a bad car accident. Yeah, and I've been gone a lot, reclassing, going to schools, going to different trainings and stuff like that. But now it's time to go back full in action. It's time to get my music out. People been waiting on me. It's time to get back on the videos. I'm actually glad I met a different set of new people like Roche, yourself, Dixon, Glenn. I'm just glad I met a different scenery because even though you got a gift, people go hate on you and envy you. You know what I'm saying? They go fuck with you and they go try to do what they can to pull you down because they're miserable. And I learned that through rapping. Like I said, I wouldn't even win it, and I had people hating on me. Like no bullshit, bro. I never won a fucking award or none of that shit. And people that won and shit, fucking haters, man. Player hating, like a motherfucker. Player hater. That's one motherfucker. I think that's my I can't stand this shit. Just a player hating motherfucker. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's mind-boggling for me because it's like, dude, why you hating? You fucking won the money. They winning money.
Right.
500 and shit. I ain't won shit. Yeah. Fuck you hate on me for?
Right. Because you were chosen.
Hey.
Right.
They chose you.
Yeah.
You chosen. That what it.
So like the crazy thing is, so like, and it's different because like, so with me, like, and forgive me, Stan Bell again. I apologize. Sorry, Stan. It was an accident. Blame Google. No accountability. I messed up.
There you go.
So now, but like when Stan Bell used to do the roll calls and stuff like that, like I had won like several roll calls.
Okay.
So like I knew I could rap. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't a thing. You know, at one point, you know, he was my manager. We would go do showcases, and they would always be like, "Oh, nigga, you can rap. Oh, this nigga got lyrics." Like I'm not gonna say no names because I'm not Master Splinter. I was finna throw some shade, but I ain't gonna do it.
I was tempted.
Yeah, I know I was finna throw some shade, but I was like, if I say that, people gonna know who I'm talking about, so I ain't even gonna do that. Yeah. But he was like, "Man, you can rap, but man, I want you to rap about the trap." And I'm like, you know, like you said, you know, you grew up, you know, out Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? You remember they played the song last night, and they like, "Oh, y'all ain't from South Memphis," and like we started naming our streets. You know, me, you, Glenn, Gibb, we started naming our streets. And I ain't just named the street, like I gave all my addresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I graduated from Raleigh. Yeah, I could say I'm a Raleigh nigga, but like, don't get it twisted. Before I moved out to Raleigh, you know what I'm saying? Like, Stamp, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Saxon, Gaither, Preston, like, don't play with it. You know, Bellevue and Macklemore all day.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it was a insult because, again, I come from that. I was around that. But when you legit, and I've never tried to act like I was around, like he sold more dope than me, you know what I'm saying, in real life, and he's the executive. I just drove the car. But, like, I had somebody actually go to jail for me. Legit. What it was about, doesn't matter. Did 9 years. And this was a real life, about that life person. The whole time, like, man, nah, you got too much going on. Shay, man, like, look, I already got strikes. I eat that. I'm good in there. And accountability and responsibility, I was finna be like, he was like, nah, that's me. I'm like, nigga, don't worry about it. Did 9 years. Got out. Wasn't even home a week. Got killed. So now, you want me to get on the mic. I had niggas that I knew that legit sold dope. It's like, nah, man, your parents, you come from a good family. Nah, you can't do that. You want me to get on the mic and lie? Just because I know niggas? Just because I was around it? Just because it'll sound good? If you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So, like, for me, if you don't have your principles, and it was kind of like what we was talking about on the rundown, like, for me, and I get it, because sometimes you have to realize, make a pimp decision, what you gonna do, but, like, for me, it's about principle. And so it's like I know you, and you tell your pimp, but I'm not finna get up and make a song about pimp. I didn't do that. That's disrespectful to you. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff he do, and I know he did that. But if I make a song and say, I did that, that's disrespectful to somebody that I say that's my brother. I'm not finna do that. So if that make me a nerd or a geek or a square or whatever, so be it. Right. I'll be that. Because I had niggas that I was around. And sometimes, you know, they'll send me out like, oh, go fight this. And like, I did that. I would do stuff. You know, I done been in some houses and things like that. I didn't help some people up, but like, I was not Pablo Escobar. You know, I was the anti-Pablo Escobar. You know, I wasn't even Pablo Escobar light. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of them drinks that you put the little stuff in and make it turn color. That was me. Yeah. But It's funny that you say, that because while I did win some competition or get acknowledged, on the flip side, for me it was like, and he can attest to this, it was like, oh well, we want you to be rapping about this. And so like for you, did you ever face, I guess, that people trying to tell you what you should be rapping about or what you should be doing?
Oh yeah, people got their own opinion, man. I had some people be like, you gotta go with the now wave. You gotta
trend.
You gotta do this. Basically, not be yourself. And I'm like, fuck the fame. I want the money. That shit ain't cool. Everybody got their wave. That ain't me. I have a different flow. I have a triplet flow. I have a Memphis flow. I don't have no other type of flow or wave where you can't hear their ass. You don't even know what the fuck they talking about, or they talking about the same fucking 223s and all this other shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not finna say I got a fucking F and N.
Yeah.
I mean, all y'all ass got FNs and all this shit. All y'all got this shit. Well, goddamn, where your house at? Where your mortgage payment at? Where you goddamn car at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why the fuck you still trapping? Huh? Where your bankroll at? Where your life insurance at? Let's talk about some real shit. Let's talk about some real shit. Where your property at?
Yeah.
But you got a goddamn K's and shit. You want me to rap about that shit? And push that shit? Some fake shit? Motherfucker posting with guns, dying. Damn, you got all these choppers and dying? What the fuck going on?
You said something there.
There's some backwards shit going on. Hell yeah, I done got this shit. Man, you need to make an ass shaking song. You need to do this. You need to do all this other shit. I'm finna be Playa Tony. Fuck you.
Gotta be authentic to yourself, man. Gotta be authentic to yourself. Now,
one thing for sure. God ain't gonna talk to you. God ain't gonna talk about you to somebody else. So I'm gonna keep it authentic with myself. I'm gonna change for you, fuck. I'm gonna change for them. God talk to me. I mean, shit. That's how I look at it. It's your own experience.
Yep.
Everything you do in life is your own experience. I'm not finna go by what everybody else say. Now I take heed to wisdom. I listen. But somebody trying to tell me to rap a certain way or to do certain songs and do all this other bullshit, that's life. You gonna have it. And I tune it out. And I hear him, I'm like, okay. You just a player hating motherfucker. That's it.
Now, as we wrap up here, what anything else you want to say or promote your stuff, or you got a website or anything like that you want to put out there or anything?
Shout out to my nigga Cole Fly. They make the beats. They make Playa Tony.
Cole Fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
My beat maker, my producer, man. That's a cool guy. Cool. Shout out to Skinny Pimp.
Oh, yeah, you got to shout out Skinny Pimp, man.
You got to shout out your engineer, too. He'll be recording and mixing.
Shout out to Ty.
It's a lot of
creation. Shout out to my guy.
That's where y'all be at.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to my guy, man. And like I said, I'm glad I'm around people that want to see you successful. They ain't got that crab in the bucket mentality. That ain't plotting on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm around people that anytime they see you, they happy. They ain't envying you and shit. And that's some cool shit. So,
For sure.
Thing I want to leave with here, man. Like I said, as we wrap up, it's better to give than to receive.
Right? Hey, you got a release date on the project? You got a release date tentative?
I am pushing for the summer, but it's gonna be before the spring. It's gonna be before that September mark for sure.
Oh, like before fall.
Yeah, it's gonna be before
fall.
my fall. I'm
Okay.
pushing for the summer to go and drop the class, so we gonna drop my music, to go and put everything out there. I got a few more things to do, but we go reputate that up, man. We go and get that up so I can give the people what they want. They want that knowledge, that wisdom. You know, they want that substance.
Want that Playa Tony?
Oh yeah.
Want that Playa Tony?
Yeah, they want the Playa Tony.
They want the Playa Tony.
Yeah.
Pimp nasty bitch.
But y'all, until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.